career. That's what's happened with star caliber fighters like Lewis and Tua and even Galata and Tyson and Holyfield. They all had long amateur careers. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape now for the two guys you're about to watch. Robert Davis against Lance Mount Whitaker. Whitaker's primary identity, he's 6 feet 8 inches tall, thus the nickname Mount Whitaker. But look at the difference in reach between him and Davis. Only 1 inch despite the 5-inch difference in height. Both of them late bloomers, Whitaker 28, Davis 29, and they're still regarded as prospects. And there's a 17-pound weight difference in favor of the giant, Lance Whitaker. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Robert Davis-Mount Whitaker fight is scheduled for 10 rounds, non-title, using the rules of the Mohegan Tribal Gaming Commission Athletic Unit. Now listen up, Jim, because these are unusual. In addition to the rules you see on the screen, the standing 8 count is in effect, and a 3 knockdown rule is in effect. I mean, they are on the screen. So very unusual rules tonight. We have a standing 8 count. We have a 3 knockdown rule. Jim.
All right, thank you very much. The fighters are in the ring. Larry, let's take a closer look at Robert Davis.
Robert Davis told us that he was an A and B student in high school in Akron, Ohio, hoping to become a doctor. He went into the Army to save some money, wound up launching rockets in the Gulf War. Now he delivers a very educated left hand, and he also happened to deliver his first son last August.
Thought of becoming a doctor, now tries to send opponents to the doctor, and he'll be trying to send Lance Whitaker there tonight. Let's take a look, a closer one, at Mount Whitaker.
Mount Whitaker came into boxing when a trainer saw him in a fast food restaurant, said, "Would you like to make $1 million?" That planted the seed. But the Mount is a twin peak. That is, he has a fraternal brother who is 3 inches shorter than him.
So Lance got the taller genes as opposed to his twin brother, Stacy. While you're watching these heavyweight fights tonight, we invite you to log on to hbo.com/boxing, and there, give us your answer to the question, who do you think will win on November 11? Heavyweight championship fight. Will Lennox Lewis successfully defend the title, or will David Tua take it away? Cast your ballot on our website, hbo.com/boxing. We'll give you the results at the end of the evening. Now let's go up to ring announcer Mark Barrow to start this doubleheader off.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uncasville Pavilion at the Mohegan Sun Casino for an evening of HBO Boxing After Dark. Under the promotion of Cedric Kushner Promotions, your matchmaker is Ron Scott Stevens. Tonight's bouts are under the auspices of the Mohegan Tribal Gaming Commission Athletic Unit, Unit Chief Jerry Boyle. Your ring officials assigned, your ringside physicians are Dr. Michael Schwartz, Dr. Joseph Carpenteri, and Dr. Tony Alessi. Your timekeeper this evening, at the bell, the lovable Lou Dell. And counting for the knockdowns at the bell, Mike Russell. Ladies and gentlemen, Cedric Kushner Promotions in association with America Presents and Budweiser, this Bud's for you, presents 10 rounds heavyweights. Your judges at ringside are from Bronxville, New York, George DeGabriel, from Farmington, Connecticut, William Hutt, and from Rivervale, New Jersey, Steve Weisfeld. Your referee for this event, from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, the charming Charles Dwyer. Introducing now the principals first. In the blue corner, to my right, wearing the black trunks, weighing in at 253.5 pounds, with a professional record that reads 21 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw, and 17 wins, coming by way of knockout. He hails from Granada Hills, California, introducing the 8th wonder of the world, Lance Mount Whitaker. His opponent in the red corner, wearing the black trunks with the red trim, he weighs in at 236.5 pounds, with a professional record that reads 22 victories, no defeats, 14 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the pride of Akron, Ohio, Robert Davis. Davis, 10 rounds, heavyweights.
Gentlemen, you both know the rules. Let's have a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands. Good luck.
Lance Whitaker lost a split decision to Lou Savarese, won a split decision from Mike Barrett, which suggests that in 2 or 3 years he'll still be 6'8". Let's see whether Davis has an upside.
This could be a high-activity bout. Whitaker once threw 122 punches in a round. That was in his loss to Savarese in the round in which he knocked Savarese down and almost out. 122 punches is a huge count for a heavyweight. Davis once threw more than 750 punches in a 10-round bout, which is an average of more than 75 punches a round. Not too many heavyweights can do that. And Davis lands a right-hand uppercut early to back Whitaker off.
Well, I'm very surprised at the pace that these guys are setting right away. You know, basically, particularly with Lance Whitaker saying that he is going to wear Davis down by using his size and to come on later on in the last half of the fight. But he's doing just the opposite.
Well, Sonny Oliver has trained Davis to be a heavyweight who will box and move. And whenever you hear that, you expect to see a guy try to move like Muhammad Ali, but Davis didn't like that. He walks from side to side, kind of saunters back and forth, and never really stops with the lateral movement. Now Whitaker lands some thudding body punches. Whitaker believes that he has the advantage of being able to beat you from the outside with his range and his long jab, or from the inside where he's very comfortable fighting, and there's a right hand across the top, but Davis comes back.
And what's also interesting, both of these guys at the age of 30 or so to say, they're still learning to fight.
Yep.
You know, they didn't have much of an amateur career in either case, and they're actually improving in each fight.
Davis is a natural southpaw who fights from a conventional stance. So his left hand is his stronger hand. That helps his jab. And Larry, you pointed out, you saw him in a previous fight knock a fighter out hooking off the jab. It's not all that easy to do.
Right. It's the best punch in boxing when you can pull it off because the opponent doesn't see it coming.
Davis sticking a right hand there. Whitaker ducks and moves.
If the fight continues at this pace, it's a good possibility that Whitaker's size and weight may be a big factor going down the stretch, particularly in view of the inexperience that Davis has. Which means that once Davis gets tired, he doesn't have that advantage of having experience to fight off of.
Whitaker landing a big right hand. And another one. This is the punch that helped him to win a close battle with Monty Barrett after he got what he regarded as his education against Lou Savarese.
The punch that Davis is throwing, overhand right, is not really that effective because of the fact that Robert Davis sees the punch coming and he's preparing for it physically and I think mentally. But in due time, if he continues to do that, the weight factor would be a big factor and may take its toll.
If he doesn't walk into too many of those left hands from Davis, which he is really taking right now.
You really like Davis's left hook?
Well, he's hitting him with it, Emmanuel, over and over again.
Work out of it, gentlemen.
253 against 236. Further evidence of the future course of the heavyweight division. Big men only need apply.
Big men, but most guys, once they get over 6'4", they're usually not that coordinated.
They didn't bring the
There are
bottle
some
out.
exceptions.
That's what I mean. All this there. Tell Steve to go get the water bottle.
Steve, we need the water bottle, the squirt bottle.
Deep breaths, inhale and exhale. You're doing good. I want that left hand up all the time. You see what he got? Nothing. He ain't even in your. We got it. That's what
You can't get through your stuff. You can't get through your stuff. Just keep marching them down. But we only got 10 rounds now. We only got 10 rounds. I don't really have to rush, but I need you to just pick up the pace a little bit, especially the body a little bit. Okay. On your counters. Very nice. Take a good deep breath. One more. Come on. There you go.
Doing what you're doing. Lead him to the punch. Stay there. Stay there. Just sit. Deep breath.
Couple of pretty fair heavyweights come out of the Akron area. Michael Dokes, of course, from Akron, and Ernie Shavers from nearby Warren, Ohio.
In fact, Sonny Oliver, the man you heard talking to Robert Davis in the corner, worked with Michael Dokes in the gym. That's his pretext for understanding what's good and what's not in the heavyweight division. Round one punch stat numbers. Robert Davis, 19 out of 79. He threw a lot of punches. Whitaker, 7 out of 44. Hard right hand, and Davis goes to his knees, and now he's in trouble.
That's exactly what it is, accumulation.
Just as you said, Emmanuel, he kept landing that thudding right hand.
And it took its effect sooner or later.
Now, Davis had a stretch where he went down 5 times in 4 fights, but he won them all. So he has a history of getting up off the canvas to win.
Well, they've asked Whitaker to come out fighting, and he has.
That was Joe Goossen's advice to Whitaker, step up the pace a little bit. And Whitaker listened to Joe.
Well, Robert is going to probably be watching for that right hand there because he's basically getting hit with only one punch. And even though he's not that experienced as a fighter, he should be able to try to hold that punch off and watch for it. But I think the fact that the man's weight and the size is a bigger factor.
Davis trying to hang in there and comes back with 2 big left hooks. Heavyweights trading shots. Can Robert Davis weather the round? Sonny Oliver told him to keep his left hand up. He didn't do enough of it. Another right hand for Whitaker.
Those are not clean blows, but they're having the same effect. This is from the lack of experience. If Davis had been an experienced amateur fighter, he probably could protect himself much more. But in this stage here, he does not have that experience.
And remember, one more knockdown in 45 seconds, and Davis is very unsteady on his feet.
And he's getting hit with the same punch entirely all the time.
Yeah, he's so busy throwing that left that he isn't defending himself. That's the end of it.
Robert Davis goes down for the 3rd time, and even before he touches the canvas, the referee has stopped the fight, and Lance Whitaker has a 2nd-round knockout, which I think we'll all agree is the product of his greater experience and greater professionalship in the ring.
That's correct, and I think the fact that he shortened up his punches a lot better than he was. Even though it was still over here in punch, it was still a much better punch than it was before. He's improving.
I'll tell you what, when we first saw Lance Whitaker a couple of years ago, I wasn't sure he could become a powerful puncher. He can become a powerful puncher.
I was very impressed tonight. I was very impressed.
Whitaker closed the show, landing by CompuBox numbers 29 out of 58 power shots in the 2nd round. When he got his opportunity to finish the job with the right hand, he got it done against a very game and determined Robert Davis.
Yes, Robert Davis was very game. Just the lack of experience, I think, was a big factor. And once he got hurt, he didn't know how to protect himself. And he
didn't know how to slow the pace. He didn't know how to grab and hold or do anything to keep Whitaker from just coming at him.
That's correct, Jim. And those are things that you learn in the amateurs. That's why I call the amateur program your apprenticeship. You make your mistakes. In this type of a fight, he could have lost as an amateur, and he would have learned from that. But he's actually learning to fight as a major heavyweight professional prize fighter, which is very dangerous.
If he had been able to win this fight, Davis would have gone forward toward a fight with Michael Grant. Earlier this evening, I asked his manager, Steve Ministeri, I said, how much confidence do you have that he can win this fight? He said, I tell the fighter 100%, I'll tell you 55%, but it's a chance worth taking because he's 29 years old and we don't have a lot of time.
But you know what he could have did, when you have a guy that throws a type of a clubbing punch like that, you don't block the punch, especially when it's a physically big man, because just blocking the blow still takes its effect. You make him miss completely. And what Davis should have did was went underneath the punch or roll the punch and let Whitaker miss, and that would have tired him out. But blocking the punch was the wrong thing to do when the guy's that big.
Let's take a look at some of the destruction from the 2nd round here, Emmanuel, and see how Lance Whitaker was able to put together this knockout. Here's the first of the 3 knockdowns.
And he's continually landing mainly the right hand. And the lack of inexperience, after he gets up, he could have tied the man up to at least break up his momentum or his spirit. But he didn't have that experience, and he was just trying to block the punch.
So here's knockdown number 2. as Davis tries to come back by throwing punches, as Emmanuel pointed out, and left himself open for another right hand that deposited him on his butt. And now here comes still the second knockdown. Hard to recover from that kind of stuff.
It's hard to recover, and nearly all of it was right hand punches too. And if he had a little more experience, I think he could have maybe prevented that. But blocking the punches, and particularly while he was already dazed and couldn't anticipate what was happening, was the wrong thing to do.
So the referee is just about ready to stop it here. And as he steps in to call a halt, Davis goes down to the canvas for the third time, eliminating any controversy about whether the bout comes to an end at this moment. Robert Davis not covering up and allowing Lance Whitaker to pound away with the right hand until it's brought to a conclusion.
You know, one other observation.
Davis apparently complaining to Dr. Michael Schwartz, we're told, about pain in the jaw on the left side. Wouldn't be terribly surprising if one of those punches had broken Davis's jaw. Let's go to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 29 seconds of the second round. The winner by technical knockout, the 8th wonder of the world, Whitaker. Whitaker.
I need you on this. Excuse me.
If they're taking a few pictures, you guys.
Man, you again?
Yeah, well, hold on. We're going to be interviewed right now.
And we'll look at final CompuBox numbers. Remember, in the first round, Whitaker landed only 7 of 44 punches. It was because of that relatively slow start against a Robert Davis who threw 79 punches in the first round that you heard Joe Goosen between rounds asking his fighter to pick up the pace. So Whitaker came out a little bit more energetically in the second round, quickly landed the big right hand that started the cascade downward for Davis, and ultimately was able to seal the deal when Davis never really recovered. Final numbers: 37 out of 108 for Whitaker, 31 out of 115 for Davis. Davis still managing to throw 36 punches while being batted around the ring by Whitaker in the second. Larry Merchant stands by with Mount Whitaker.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Lance. I can't get myself to call you Mount. You're just Lance when I'm talking to you. Mount is from the ringside. We haven't seen you fight this aggressively from the start before. Why did you do it tonight?
Well, I'd like to thank God. I'm training Joe Goosen, America Presents HBO. Gives the opportunity. I want to come make a statement and come be aggressive, throw punches, and destroy this guy in a couple rounds. That was my game plan.
That doesn't seem to be your personality. Is your personality changing, or are you just realizing that this is what you have to do to be successful in the game?
Well, my personality not changing, but this is what I have to do. I have to come there and destroy these guys to take them out and be aggressive. I mean.
All right. He hit you with a number of left hands. They didn't seem to bother you, but did you realize, is that why he'd be open for the right hand over those lefts?
Well, his punches wasn't phasing me at all. I was just taking my time, walking him down, and I'm big, I'm strong, and just overpower him, you know? And like George Foreman said, act like a big man, fight like a big man.
All right, let's big man, then let's take a look at how this fight ended. After the first or the second knockdown, this is the third one. Describe what you were seeing and feeling.
I was just throwing the right hand and making a target and just, walking through his punches. He wasn't phasing me at all. Just walking right through him and just blocking everything he has, and I just knew it, So.
Were you aware of the 3 knockdown rule and that if you got him down one more time, it would be over?
No, I forgot. I would just want to destroy him and just take him out. Make a statement. That's what I did, make a statement. And that's how it's going to be from now on.
Well, then make a statement to us about who you'd like to fight next.
Anybody, actually. Whoever my promoter, America Presents, and Dan and Joe, whatever they put in front of me, everybody I'm not backing up down from anybody. So it's just time and patience, and whoever's out there, I'll fight them.
Thanks a lot, Lance.
Thank you very much.
Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Larry. Emmanuel, Lance Whitaker is by nature a gentle giant. You can probably see that in his personality. Most trainers in the sport figure they're going to get a heavyweight with real talent maybe once or twice in their careers. So this is Joe Goossen's pet project, and he's doing a job with Lance Whitaker.
I think that Joe Goossen is doing a great job with Lance Whitaker. You know, he's such a lovable, affable type person, and you can see that he's really not that comfortable in the boxing ring. And it seems like he's fighting more to satisfy his managers and his promoters and trainers than he is for his own personal sense.
But he's fighting to satisfy Joe, who has a good face-to-face with him, and you could see that Lance responded to what Joe said to him between rounds 1 and 2.
Yes, he did. In fact, that was a very impressive fight, particularly for me, because I'm not a big Lance Whitaker fan, and he really impressed me tonight, particularly with his aggression, because I figured he was going to come out in this normal, laid-back manner, waiting until the last half, trying to win the fight just off of his weight or trying to wear someone out, but he came out very aggressive.
He's that rarity among heavyweights. He's bigger than Lennox Lewis, so we'll see what happens to Mount Whitaker.